It starts with something small, an innocent transaction, a harmless conversation, a normal night that feels just slightly off, like the world forgot to load itself properly. But underneath it, something is already moving, watching, learning, waiting for you to make the first mistake of believing you are alone. Because in these three stories, nothing ever truly ends where it begins. Some things follow through reflection, some speak through voices that are not their own, and some don't stop at fear. They rewrite the space you stand in until escape no longer has meaning. By the time you realize what's happening, the invitation has already been accepted, and it was never yours to refuse. Now, tell me.
The market smelled faintly of salt and something older, something that clung to the air like a forgotten dua whispered by a restless soul. I wasn't okay. I hadn't been for days, but I remember the fish. It floated inside a narrow glass tank, its scales catching the dim light like fractured mirrors. Too aware, too deliberate. Its eyes, black, endless, followed movement with an intelligence that felt forbidden, as if something ancient, something from the realm of the jinn, watched through it. "It's cute," I muttered, though the word felt wrong in my mouth. "He'll show you," the seller said, his voice dry, almost hollow, like wind scraping through graves. He tapped the glass once. The fish moved, not like an animal, but like it understood a command. It twisted, spun, then stilled, staring directly at me. "Hello," I said, uneasily. "Hi," the seller echoed, smiling too slowly. I swallowed. "How much would this cost?" "This one?" He leaned closer to the tank, his reflection warping beside the creature. "He does tricks. He's very clever." There was something in the way he said clever, like a warning wrapped in silk. £20, he said. The number felt heavier than it should have been, like a price not just measured in money, but in something unseen, something bartered in the shadows where whispers of shayateen coil. I hesitated. The fish didn't blink, and in that silence I could have sworn I heard something, faint, distant, a salt al-khafi, a hidden voice murmuring from the water. £20 is just a bit too much for me, I said carefully, forcing a polite smile that didn't quite hold. The seller's expression didn't change. It stayed unnaturally still, like a mask carved from old bone. For a moment, the air thickened, pressing against my chest as though something unseen had drawn closer. "It's Easter," he murmured, voice dipping lower, almost reverent. He might be reduced after Easter if nobody buys him. The way he said nobody made it sound impossible. I nodded quickly. I actually needed it for Easter. A lie. Or maybe not. My thoughts felt tangled, as if something softly weaving through them, something ancient, something patient. The fish drifted closer to the glass, its mouth opened slightly. Not feeding, not breathing, listening. "I'll probably just put it back," I added, stepping away. "Okay," the seller replied, too quickly, too easily. That was wrong. "I'm sorry, thank you." "That's fine," he said, but his eyes didn't follow me. They stayed fixed on the tank, as if he wasn't the one in control. I turned to leave, but just before I stepped away completely, A soft sound echoed behind me. Tap. I froze. Slowly, I glanced back. The cellar hadn't moved, but the fish was striking the glass from the inside. Once, twice, then stillness. Its black eyes locked onto mine again, and deep within the water, something shifted. A flicker, a shadow, like the curling presence of a marid, vast and unseen, pressing against the fragile boundary between worlds. I left, but as the door creaked shut behind me, I could swear something followed. I tried to forget it. The market, the cellar, the fish, but memory clung like damp air inside a sealed cupboard. Heavy, suffocating, inescapable. Later that evening, laughter broke through the silence. "Hey, look at this! Swimming through!" a voice called out behind me. I turned, and my breath stopped. The fish. The same one. Inside a cheap plastic bag, sloshing with murky water, its body twisting slowly, deliberately. "It's a joke," someone laughed. "I still got you for a good deal, huh?" My mind stuttered. "What?" "It was worth it. Oh my God, that was funny. Happy Easter." Happy Easter. The words echoed wrong, twisted, hollow, like blessings spoken backward in a forgotten tongue. I stared at the bag. "No," I whispered. "I didn't buy this." No one answered. When I looked up again, there was no one there. The laughter had vanished. The space behind me stood empty, swallowed by a silence so thick it felt alive. Only the bag remained, hanging from my hand, heavy, too heavy. The water inside it began to ripple, slowly at first, then with growing intensity. The fish rose upward, its face pressed against the thin plastic, its eyes, those same endless black eyes, locked onto mine. And then it moved its mouth, not like before, not randomly, not instinctively, deliberately, forming something, a word, a curse, a whisper from the unseen realm of jinn. Mine. The bag tightened around my fingers, the plastic creaked, and beneath the water, something else moved. Not the fish, something behind it, something vast, something waiting.
By the time I reached home, the air around me felt wrong, thick, humming, as if something unseen had crossed the threshold with me. The bag hung from my hand, heavier than before. The water inside no longer sloshed naturally. It pulsed like a heartbeat. I set it down on the table. The room fell silent, too silent. Even the distant noise of the outside world seemed swallowed, as though my home had been wrapped in an invisible veil, something old, something whispered of in forbidden verses, a presence not meant for the living. "Good night," I muttered under my breath, trying to steady myself. But then, a sound, soft, wet, tap. I turned. The bag twitched. The fish slammed against the plastic again, harder this time. Tap. Tap. "Stop," I whispered. But it didn't stop. The movements grew violent, unnatural, like something trapped inside was trying to break out, not of the bag, but into this world. Then, suddenly, stillness, complete. I exhaled shakily, and that's when I heard it. Not from the bag, not from anywhere I could see, a voice, close,
too close. Did you just call me a thief? My blood ran cold. I spun around. No one. Nothing. The room remained empty, but the presence was undeniable now. Heavy, watching, breathing without lungs. The fish slowly turned inside the bag. Its eyes met mine again, and this time it smiled, a thin, unnatural curve, a mockery of something human. "Stupid bunny," the voice whispered again, distorted, layered, like multiple throats speaking through one unseen form. The tone carried something ancient, something vengeful, like a shaitan, amused by its own deception. The lights flickered, once, twice. Darkness pressed in for just a second too long, and in that brief void, I saw it. Not clearly, but enough. A shape behind the fish, towering, formless, eyes burning like coals beneath black water. Then the lights returned. The bag sat still. The fish floated calmly, as if nothing had happened. But I knew something had crossed over, and it wasn't leaving. I didn't sleep. How could I? The room felt occupied, claimed, like I had unknowingly stepped into a place already owned by something older than breath itself. The bag sat where I left it, unmoving, silent. But the silence wasn't empty. It listened. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time had begun to fracture, slipping between moments like grains through unseen fingers. Then, the water moved. Not a ripple, not a splash. It rose. Defying gravity, the surface lifted inside the bag, as though something beneath it was pushing upward, stretching, expanding, awakening. The fish didn't swim anymore. It hovered, suspended in place, its body unnaturally still. Its eyes locked onto mine, wider now, deeper, no longer belonging to anything of this world. And then the bag tore, not with a snap, not with force, but slowly, like it was being opened from the inside. The water spilled out across the table, then down, then onto the floor, but it didn't spread like water should. It crawled, dark, thick, alive, carrying whispers within it, ancient murmurs, echoes of forgotten names, names tied to the realm of Jinn, to the cursed lineage of those who dwell between worlds. The fish dropped onto the floor, but it didn't flop, didn't struggle. It landed perfectly still, then began to rise, not physically, but something within it expanded, unfolding, stretching beyond the limits of flesh. Its shadow grew first, stretching across the walls, warping into something vast, something towering, something no small creature could ever cast. And then I heard it again, clearer now, closer than breath. "You refused the bargain." The voice no longer hid. It resonated through the room, through the walls, through my bones, like a decree spoken by an ancient Marid, vast and merciless. This vessel was never the price. My chest tightened. I couldn't move, couldn't speak. The shadow leaned closer. "And now you are." The lights died. Darkness swallowed everything. And in that final moment, just before the silence broke, I realized the truth. The fish was never meant to be bought. It was meant to be taken.
and something else had taken me.
I almost stopped the video here, because what appears next isn't human. Nahid Hassan kept saying one thing. It's standing. If you're still watching, subscribe to Nightfall Series 2.
The words came lightly, casually, but something beneath them felt hollow, like a greeting spoken over an unmarked cupboard, where something restless listened. "Happy Easter to you as well," I replied. There was a pause. Then, "Oh my God, you completely missed out." Her voice shifted, too animated, too eager, stretched thin over something brittle. "Oh no, really? What happened?" "My Easter party," she said, and a strange excitement crept in. "It was honestly insane. I don't even know where to start." I smiled faintly. "I wish I came." Another pause, longer this time. "Yeah, it was a very specific crowd, you know, not really your space." The words landed wrong, too precise, too deliberate, like something rehearsed or recited. "Oh, okay," I said quietly, but she didn't notice or pretended not to. She continued, her voice rising again, almost feverish. "But oh my God, the highlight? I got this super expensive Easter bunny as a centerpiece, like ridiculously premium." Something in the way she said premium made my skin crawl, as if the word itself carried weight, as if it wasn't just decoration. "That sounds so cute." She laughed, not warmly, not naturally. The sound cracked slightly, like it didn't belong entirely to her. "No, babe, elevated." The word lingered, heavy, distorted, as if something unseen whispered it alongside her. People literally wouldn't stop talking about it. And in the background, I heard something, faint, almost hidden beneath her voice, a soft, rhythmic sound, like something tapping or breathing, slow, measured, patient. I frowned. "Where did you get it from?" Silence. Then, "Oh, just this place," she said, too quickly, too dismissively. "I don't really share my sources like that." Sources, not store, not shop. Sources. The word coiled in my mind like a warning, and beneath it, something ancient stirred, something tied to unseen markets, to bargains not spoken aloud, to places where the jinn trade in things far more valuable than objects. The line crackled, just for a second, and through that brief distortion, I thought I heard another voice, not hers, deeper, layered, whispering something I couldn't quite understand. But it wasn't meant for me. It was meant for her. "And the food, don't even ask," she continued, her voice tightening in a way that didn't match the words. "I barely got to eat anything. I was just hosting the whole time." There was a faint clatter in the background. Not plates, not glasses. Something softer, something dragging. "You must be tired," I said. Yeah, exhausted," she replied quickly, too quickly. "People don't realize how hard it is to host at this level." At this level. The phrase echoed strangely, like a threshold rather than a standard. I shifted, uneasy. "Yeah, I had people everywhere," she went on. "Garden, inside, outside, every room. I couldn't keep track." Something in her tone faltered on the last sentence. Not forgetfulness, something closer to fear. And then, a pause, long, heavy. The line didn't disconnect, but the silence felt occupied.
"Hey," I said softly, "are you still there?" A faint breath answered me, not from the phone, but from behind it. "Yes," she whispered, and for a split second, her voice overlapped with something else, lower, ancient, like a breath pulled from the depths of a sealed kibber where something forbidden had waited too long. I swallowed. "What about the bunny?" Another pause, this one worse, because this time I heard it clearly, a soft thump, then another thump, thump, like something heavy shifting its weight. "Oh, the centerpiece?" she said finally. Her voice changed, flattened, stripped of warmth. It was perfect. A faint scraping noise followed, wood against floor, slow, deliberate. It sat right in the middle. Everyone gathered around it. Thump. They couldn't stop looking at it. Thump. They didn't want to leave. My chest tightened. "What do you mean?" The line crackled again, and this time there was no mistaking it. A second voice, close to her, too close, whispering in a tongue that felt older than language, something from the realm of jinn, where words are not spoken, but bound. Her next sentence came out wrong, layered, like she wasn't alone inside her own throat. "It likes attention." The word "likes" dragged unnaturally, stretched, as if something else was savoring it. A sudden, sharp sound cut through the call. A knock, not on a door, not on wood, something hollow, something inside. I leaned forward. What was that? Silence. Then a whisper, not hers. "Don't ask."
Anyway, she said suddenly, her tone snapping back into something forced and artificial. "Next time I'll consider inviting you as well." The sentence sounded polite, but it wasn't an invitation. It felt like a selection. "Wow. Okay. Thank you," I replied, unsure why my voice had gone so quiet. "Yeah," she continued. "Yeah, I'll see." There was movement now, clearer in the background. Not just one sound, many. Soft, uneven, like footsteps but not walking, dragging, a slow procession across wooden floors. I frowned. "I thought the party was over." She said, "It is." Too quickly, too sharply. Then, a whisper slipped through, not from her, from somewhere deeper in the line. "Still here." My breath caught. "What? What?" she replied instantly, too instantly. I didn't say anything, but I knew she had, or something had. "You said," I said, "I'm busy." Her voice rising now, strained. "Cleaning up, you know? The whole place is messed up." Behind her, another sound, a soft, wet inhale, followed by a faint, hollow tap. Then again, tap, tap, like something testing a surface or trying to get out. "You're not alone," I said quietly. The line went silent, not empty, just listening. Seconds passed. Too many. Then, a breath, shaky, not entirely human. "No," she whispered. And then, after a pause that felt like something tightening around the air itself, "They didn't leave." My heart began to pound. Who didn't leave? She didn't answer right away. Instead, the phone shifted slightly, as if she had turned her head, and in that brief movement, I heard them, multiple, faint, close, breathing, not synchronized, not natural, a cluster of presences lingering just beyond sight, like entities pulled from the unseen realm of jinn, bound to something within that house. "They stayed near it," she said finally. Her voice was lower now, quieter. "They kept touching it." Tap. "They kept whispering to it." Tap. "And it answered." The last word trembled, not with emotion, with truth. "What do you mean, it answered?" The response came slowly, as if she was choosing each word carefully or repeating something she had been told. It doesn't just sit there. A faint creak echoed behind her, something shifting weight, something large. It listens. The tapping stopped, completely, and in that silence, something new emerged, a sound like fabric stretching or skin. And when it hears enough, her voice broke just slightly. It follows. The call crackled violently, then steadied, and just before she spoke again, a whisper cut through. Not hers, clear, close, right beside her ear. Invite them.
"All right, I'll let you rest," I said, my voice tight, desperate to end the call, but not wanting to leave her alone with whatever that was. "Yeah," she replied quickly. "I'm actually really busy cleaning up. You know, the whole place is messed up." Her tone sounded rehearsed again, hollow, like she was repeating something fed to her. "I'll talk to you later. Bye." "Bye," I said. But she didn't hang up. The line stayed open, silent. Then, a sound. A slow, deliberate creak, like a door opening somewhere deep inside the house. I froze, phone pressed tightly to my ear. "Hello," I whispered. No answer. Just movement. Not one set of footsteps. Many. Soft, dragging, circling. Then a faint thud, as if something heavy had just been placed or dropped. And suddenly, her voice returned, but not from the phone, from within it, closer, too close. "You should have come." The words were layered, hers and something beneath it, something older, something that didn't speak, it declared. My breath caught. "What's happening over there?" A pause. Then, a low hum began to rise through the line. Not electronic, not static. A saut khafi, an unseen resonance, like a ritual chant buried beneath centuries of dust. "The house is still hosting," she whispered. I felt my stomach drop. "The party's over." "No," she said, softly, calmly. "Wrong. It just changed." The hum deepened, and beneath it, voices. Not one, not two, dozens, overlapping, whispering in tones that bent and twisted like something not meant for human mouths. I couldn't understand the words, but I felt them, ancient, binding, summoning, a gathering not of guests, but entities drawn from the unseen realms of Jinn, answering a call that should never have been made. "What did you bring into that house?" I asked, my voice barely holding together. Silence. Then, a soft laugh. Not hers, and not entirely singular. "It brought them in," she said. Something slammed in the background, hard, violent, the sound of wood cracking or something forcing itself through a space too small to contain it. I flinched. "You need to leave, now." "I tried," she replied, and for the first time, I heard fear, real fear. "They won't let me." My pulse thundered in my ears. "Who won't?" The answer came slowly, carefully, like a truth that once spoken couldn't be taken back. "The ones who stayed." The hum stopped. Instantly, silence crashed down, heavy, absolute. And then, a single sound, right into the receiver. A breath, cold, close, and not hers.
The silence after the call felt wrong. Not empty, occupied. Like the air itself had been rearranged by something that didn't belong to this world. I stared at the dark screen of my phone. No missed call, no message, nothing. But I could still hear it, breathing, soft, right beside me. I turned slowly. The room was unchanged, yet everything felt distorted, as if reality had been slightly misaligned, like a mirror cracked from the inside. Then I saw it, a small gift box on my table. I hadn't placed it there. The lid was slightly open, and inside, a figure, an Easter bunny centerpiece, perfectly still, too perfect. Its glassy eyes reflected the dim light in the room, but not like glass should, like water, deep, watching. A memory flickered in my mind, her voice from earlier. It likes attention. The room temperature dropped. I stepped closer. Every instinct screamed not to, but I did. The bunny didn't move until I blinked. Then its head tilted, just slightly, not mechanical, not natural, like something inside it had finally acknowledged me. A whisper crawled through the air, not from outside, from within the object itself. Still here. My breath stopped. The words matched her voice, but weren't her voice. Something else was imitating it now, something that had learned it. The glass eyes darkened, and for a brief moment I saw it. Not a toy, not a decoration, but a vessel. Something hollowed out and filled with presence, something that had crossed over from the hidden alam of jinn, wearing a smile it did not understand. The bunny shifted again, this time fully, facing me, and its mouth slowly opened. A final whisper spilled out, layered and infinite. You were invited. The lights in the room went out, but the bunny remained visible, still watching, still waiting.
This is where the real horror begins. And trust me, what happens next, you won't forget. If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe to Nightfall Horror 002, because something even more terrifying is coming.
The phone rang again. Not the same call, but the same feeling. That unnatural pressure in the air, like something had pressed its face against the thin barrier between worlds, between mine and something older, something buried beneath layers of forgotten khof, fear. I almost didn't answer, but the screen lit up on its own. No name, just a number I didn't recognize. And then I answered. A breath came through first, not mine, not human. Slow, wet, measured. Then a voice followed, low, distorted, but familiar in the worst possible way. Happy Easter. My stomach tightened instantly. I sat up. Who is this? Silence. Then a faint shifting sound, like something moving through water or through something thicker than water. You missed the party, the voice said. My throat went dry. Who are you? A pause, too long. Then a whisper layered over itself, like multiple mouths speaking through one. We are still hosting. The words hit differently this time, not like memory, like continuation, as if the previous events hadn't ended, just moved somewhere I couldn't see yet. The air in my room felt heavier, closer, and colder. You're not real, I said quietly, trying to steady myself. A soft laugh answered, not mocking, not amused, just patient. That is what they all say. And then a sound behind the voice, faint but unmistakable. A tap, then another, like something knocking from the inside of the line. Tap, tap. My grip tightened on the phone. Stop. The voice didn't. Instead, it shifted tone, calm, almost gentle. You were chosen to see it. My heart sank. See what? A long pause. Then the answer came like a door slowly opening in the dark. The house that never stops hosting. And somewhere far behind the voice, I heard laughter. Not one person, many, waiting. The call didn't behave like a normal connection. It didn't drop. It held, as if something on the other side refused to let the channel close, like a ritual circle that once opened could no longer be sealed. I don't understand, I said, forcing my voice to stay steady. You will, the voice replied. Then a soft distortion rolled through the line, like fabric being dragged across stone. And underneath it, I heard something else. A second layer, a faint, distant chanting, words half-formed, twisted, ancient, not English, not anything I recognized. It sounded like a broken invocation, something closer to forbidden talasim than speech. My skin prickled. What do you want from me? I asked. A pause. Then, we already have what we want. The sentence landed wrong, too final, too certain. A cold pressure spread through my chest as if the air itself had leaned closer to listen. No, I whispered. I didn't agree to anything. A faint sound came through the phone. Paper, turning, or something like it. Then the voice spoke again, slower now. You refused the first offering. My mind flashed instantly to the fish, the market, the tank, the glass eyes that never blinked. My hand tightened. What offering? I demanded. A soft inhale answered me, not from the speaker, but from behind me. I froze. The phone line crackled, and the voice returned, closer than before. You are still connected. A pause, then, so is it. The lights in my room flickered without warning. Once, twice. Then steadied, but the steadiness felt wrong, like the electricity itself was now being shared with something else. The voice on the phone grew quieter, not weaker, closer. You should not look behind you, it said. That was the first honest-sounding thing it had said. Of course, I looked anyway. Nothing, just the room. Ordinary at first glance, but the silence was no longer empty. It felt layered, like air stacked on top of air, each layer hiding something slightly out of phase with reality. I turned back to the phone. What are you? I asked. A pause. Then, we are what remains after invitation. The sentence made no logical sense, but something in it still felt true in a way I couldn't explain. A soft sound came through the speaker again, breathing, slow. Then another voice joined, faint, overlapping, like someone whispering from far beneath the surface of deep water. Not one entity, many, speaking through one channel. Not all doors close, they said. My throat tightened. I never opened anything. A quiet, almost amused exhale followed. You accepted presence. That is enough. My mind immediately flashed back. The fish, the tank, the cellar, the moment I hesitated, the moment I left, the moment it followed. A cold realization crawled up my spine. I started this at the market, I whispered.
The voice paused, then, yes. A sudden sound erupted through the line. Not static, not interference, something like metal scraping against glass, or something inside glass trying to remember how to move. Then silence, absolute, too complete. I checked the screen, still connected, still active, but no voice, no breathing, nothing. And then, from the speaker, in a voice that no longer bothered to disguise itself, came a final whisper. Turn around slowly.
I didn't want to turn around. Every instinct I had, every rational part of my mind screamed that whatever was behind me was not part of this world anymore. But the phone stayed silent, waiting, like something patient, something certain. Slowly, I turned. The room looked the same at first. Walls, shadows, furniture, normal, almost comforting. Then I saw it. The fish tank. Except I didn't have a fish tank. Not anymore. It stood in the corner of the room where no object had been before. Glass surface smooth, water perfectly still, reflecting nothing properly, as if it refused to show the world as it was. My breath stopped. "No," I whispered. The phone crackled softly in my hand. A voice returned, but it wasn't coming from the device anymore. It was coming from the tank. "You brought it with you," it said. The water inside the tank began to ripple, not from movement, from presence. Something beneath the surface was rising, slowly, deliberately, as though it had been waiting for permission to fully exist in this layer of reality. A shadow formed first, then shape, then something that resembled awareness. My legs went cold. "No, that's impossible," I said. "It was in a bag. It was—" "Boundaries are only agreements," the voice interrupted. The surface of the water trembled, and I saw it again. The eyes, black, endless, recognizing me. But now, not alone. There were others behind it, watching, waiting, like a court of unseen beings, entities from the hidden alam of Jinn, gathering behind a veil too thin to remain intact. The tank glass fogged slightly, and words formed on the surface, not written, condensed. "You refused once." A pause. Then, "will not refuse again." The phone slipped from my hand, but I didn't hear it fall, because the only sound left in the room was the water rising. The water in the tank rose until it no longer behaved like water. It clung to the glass in impossible suspension, thick, aware, almost listening. I backed away, step by step, but the room didn't feel like it was expanding with me anymore. It felt like it was contracting, closing in, as if every surface had decided I was no longer an intruder, but an expected arrival. The voice returned, but softer now, almost intimate. "You are already inside." My throat went dry. Inside what? No answer. Instead, the tank darkened, not from shadow, but from depth, as if something on the other side had leaned closer, pressing itself against the boundary between worlds, testing how thin it had become. Then I heard it, a sound beneath everything, not the water, not the room, something older, a chorus of faint voices layered together, like an invocation spoken through cracked stone halls buried under desert sand, something that belonged to forgotten nights, to sealed places, to warnings never translated correctly. The presence spoke again. "We do not leave what is welcomed." My reflection flickered in the glass, but it wasn't only mine anymore. Something stood beside me in the reflection, too tall, too still, its outline shifting like smoke, refusing to settle into form. My body refused to move, refused to obey, and the tank finally broke its silence, not with a crack, not with a splash, but with a breath, a slow exhale that fogged the glass from the inside, as if something had just awakened after a very long sleep. The voice returned one last time, not as sound, as certainty. "You were never calling us." A pause, then, "We were answering you." The lights in the room went out, but the darkness didn't arrive. It was already there, waiting, and somewhere inside it, something finally stepped forward, not into the room, but into me.
This video is over, but the story isn't, because Nahid Hassan was never found. And if your phone turns on by itself tonight, just know you've been chosen. Subscribe to Nightfall Horrors 002, because you're not safe anymore.